What I told you about a lot of them police officers. What I told you about the psychology on why do they become that job? You don't make any money, it's dangerous, you risk your life, it's thankless. Who the fuck becomes a cop? Okay? You know why? Because the power in it is what they really seek. That's why every chance he gets in this conversation, it's like nobody, literally nobody, not one person. I'm the one that's qualified. Sir, shut up. I don't know how else to say this nicer. Shut up. I'm the one that's qualifying. Man, shut the hell up. It's a YouTube panel.
All right, we're going to talk about Chelsea. Why are we talking about her? The question is she qualified? Right? Let's segue. Is she qualified? You guys, there's a lot to discuss because again, she tried to check people's ability to talk about a certain segment or certain things because they're not from this country or because she feels like they're not qualified. What is her qualifications, you guys? What's her qualifications? I'll tell you what they are. According to what I've seen, she has no post-secondary education. She's certified in cosmetology. You guys, she's a cosmetologist. All right. She dances. I don't know to what genre. All right. She's a feminine coach. She teaches women how to be feminine. She has a website and she's educating other women, preferably Black women, probably FBA women, on how to be feminine. But from what I've seen, it's hypersexual. Again, she doesn't have any work experience in criminal justice. She's never been a police officer, probation officer. She's not an attorney. She didn't study law. She has no credentials. You guys, based on her definition, she said, if you are not from this country, you're not qualified to speak on topics relating to Black people. Credentials is everything. She's not qualified based on her logic. Based on her logic. Based on her logic. Based on what she's saying. I'm not qualified. I'm not FBA, so I'm not qualified. I'm asking, is she qualified? In my opinion, right? My opinion is different. I hear what you're saying, Black Storm. I hear what you're saying. So then if that's the same logic, does that mean a person who's born here but have parents from a different country and they've worked in a particular field for over 10 plus years and they have experience in a particular field and expertise? She said, right? Chelsea said that they're not qualified to speak on the issue. I agree with you. I agree with you, Black. I'm saying though, there are people who are trained and have expertise. They have expert level knowledge on particular things. And based on what she's saying, they're not qualified. So then I'm asking her, what is her qualifications? She's a cosmetologist. Right? She's teaching women how to be feminine. She's giving relationship advice. I looked at her channel. There's nothing wrong with that. Does that mean she can't speak on things? Not to me, but to her, it's a problem, right? Let's hear what she has to say. I think it's very, very important that we hear it from her. We hear from her. One would argue, how are you as a feminine woman? You're teaching women how to have relationships with men. That you yourself haven't had successful relationships with men, right? You're a single mother, right? That's what Chaotic pointed out. I didn't know that. Does that disqualify you from being able to give women advice? Because you're a single mom, you're not married? Does that disqualify you? You see what I'm saying? You see how that logic gets tricky? So when you say someone isn't born here, or you say they're not FBA, right? You say because of that, they're not qualified to speak on issues regarding the black community. Thank you. All Nathan said, you can't go around disqualifying people when you have no experience and education on it.
So he will not answer any of the factual questions. So now he's going to, you would not want to walk down an alleyway with two black guys. No, nigga. You know who I wouldn't want to walk down an alleyway with? These niggas. This is who I would not want to walk down an alleyway with. Y'all Google this with me. Google American serial killers and scroll with me. These is the motherfuckers I wouldn't want to walk down an alley with, nigga. These mofos. I walked down an alley with my own 1,000 times before I walked down an alley with one of these niggas once. This is who I would not walk. You cannot make this up. This is Google. What do majority of these men look like? This is who I don't want to walk down an alleyway with, nigga. This is who. Fuck out of here. Got me hot. You wouldn't want to walk.
So, you know, this is performative femininity, right? Performative femininity. No one wants to walk down any alley with strangers, period, you guys. Doesn't matter what they look like. But here's the problem. On her thing, she said, listen, you guys, 90% of serial killers are white. That's not true. That's not true, right? We learned, and I pulled up the data, it's approximately 56% of serial killers are white and approximately 30% are black. Serial killers. So again, we gotta be careful.
The American justice system and his background is not American. Yes, that is factual, and yes, that is a factor in this conversation.
Why is that so hard to understand? When I came in, they were having a question about the American justice system and the American government system. If I come on the stream and you are talking about the American justice system, then me asking what your nationality background is actually a very logical question that is actually directly related to the topic. But when you're moving off of emotions, you cannot see that. When you're not being open-minded, you cannot see that. The question I asked had everything to do. If I join a panel discussing the Australian criminal justice system, would they not have the right to ask me, are you Australian? Where are you from? We need to know your background. We need to know what you're invested in.
Jeez, you guys, look, Miss Parker, don't cape for her, right? She Googled some images. Again, she Googled some images. Pay attention. Listen, if we're going to have a higher level conversation, right? An intellectual debate and understanding, please understand what she did. And understand why what she did was dangerous, because you don't want people doing that to black people. Hey, let's Google the word thug and scroll through pictures. Hey, look at all the black thugs are in here. Guess how black thugs make up 90% of the US population. Okay, come on, you guys. See, you got to look at the hypocrisy behind it. This is not how it works. This is what makes it dangerous. She Googled, right, white serial killers and scrolled down images. This is what she used to defend her point, her argument. That's not how we do it. Miss Parker, I need you to focus. No disrespect. Stop trying to save her. She can't be saved. All right? This isn't a rescue mission. Again, what are we looking at? We're looking at how someone is refusing to do real research to counter the point. And what she does is she Googles images about white serial killers, and what she said was absolutely false. If someone were to do that about black people, you'd be upset. Right? I'm not saving chaotic. I'm saving the facts. This has nothing to do with chaotic, you guys. You're missing the point. This has nothing to do with chaotic. This has everything to do with a woman who's pushing out false information and people are believing it. Chaotic was simply just a catalyst to show you what performative femininity looks like, to show you what delusion looks like. That's all it is, Miss Parker. You're so caught. You guys are so worried about what chaotic is doing that you're missing the bigger picture, right? You're missing it. You're missing the whole point because you can't get out of this sister code thing you guys put together. This is what she's saying on her own stream. You know, you guys are so triggered about chaotic that you're forgetting what she's actually doing. You're not even realize what she's doing, right? You're missing the point. Please forget about chaotic. Please pay attention to what she's saying. You guys are following this woman like she's a cult leader. Jesus Christ.
I am American. I am foundational Black American. If I'm going to sit and have this conversation with you about the American court system, yes, I want to know your background. You call it disrespectful because you knew that if you answered that, you knew I could discredit your argument. Me coming on here as an articulate, feminine, beautiful woman, discrediting your argument is not disrespect.
People lead with their insecurities, you guys. In this stream, when you watch this stream, and I encourage you to watch it on your own, she's constantly glorifying her image. She's constantly glorifying her height. She's 6 foot tall, as she says. She glorifies her look, her image. You guys, this is what we call this textbook narcissism. You guys, she's a narcissist. A narcissist. All throughout the stream. All throughout the stream. This is textbook narcissism. Goldilocks. We're not talking about chaotic. Jesus Christ. Listen. Oh my God. This isn't the chaotic special. I'll do one next week if it'll make you feel better. Right? Textbook narcissism, you guys. This is what it looks like. It gets better.
If he is from Ghana and I'm not Ghanaian, I cannot go on his panel and speak to him about the Ghanaian justice system. I'm not from there. So me asking where he's from is actually a valid question.
You haven't experienced that system. He experienced the American
system. Experiencing a system and coming from generations to generations from a
See, Logic's idea is, oh, well, he's experienced living here. Let me tell y'all something. Experiencing something is just that. An experience means you can be put in and removed from that setting. That is what experience means. Okay? This is why you'll go to a restaurant and they'll say a dining experience. You'll go on vacation and say a vacation experience. There is a huge difference between you coming here, not having your foundation being from here, and experiencing this country that my ancestors built, and me coming from 4, 5, 6, 7 generations of Black foundational Americans who built this country. This is not an.
What does it have to do with the facts? This is trauma bonding, right? I want to hold myself and bond myself to generations and generations and generations of trauma. And I've said this before. The ancestors and the Americans, the Black Americans who built this country and died, right? They were strong men and women. They persevered through a lot. One would argue that the Black men and women of today could not survive 200, 300 years ago under those conditions, you guys. Listen, they did all the work. They did all the work. You guys, we are living from the hard work that they did already. We simply need to grab the baton and go further and beyond. Yet we are still talking about it. I'm not trying to discredit anything, right? I'm not trying to say that you can't complain or look at the past. I'm saying they did all the heavy lifting for all of us. People get mad if we're from another country. Listen, I was dropped off early. My bad, right? My bad. My bad. Come on, you guys. We're making this whole thing. We're making the wrong arguments. All this is rooted in delusion. It's a distraction. It's divisive. It's counterproductive. It is. Because the reason why I know that is because I can find FBA people who agree with the same thing I'm saying, or the same thing, or some of the things that Chaotic is saying. What do you call them who are FBA and they don't agree with you? You call them coons. You call them sellouts, right? Just because they don't agree with you. This has nothing to do with where you're from. This has everything to do with someone not agreeing with your delusion. It's just that simple. It's just that simple, and that's the problem. Here we go. That's the problem. Ooh. Shout out to Disruptive Minds. Said too exhausting. Shout out to Disruptive Minds with this super chat, you guys. Let me dive into super chats real quick and we get back into this video because it gets crazy. It gets crazy, right? It gets crazy. Yo, Disruptive Minds with the mega super chat. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Disruptive Minds. Listen, this brother right here is sharp, you guys. Can't wait to bring him up on this panel. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. That's the big homie. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let me get through the super chats real quick. Shout out to Anthony J. Said, learning to understand a viewpoint you see as immoral is incredibly hard. Yes, it is. It hits you so foundationally that it's uncomfortable, but it's so rewarding to learn how to do it. Gives you a richer perspective. It is. It's very difficult, man. It is. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. And it takes time. And it takes having conversation like this and people being genuine, right? Coming to a conversation in good faith and saying, hey, let's share information. I understand the issue FBA have, but it's not with everybody, right? The problem is a lack of respect when people come to this country, right? I agree 100%. You guys, it's all about respect. Again, but it's been warped and turned into something totally different. It's now starting to look divisive, you know, and it keeps us from progressing, and that's the problem. Nelson Counseling, shout out to you, Nelson. I appreciate you, brother, for this. He said, yes, it's narcissism. I don't think people know how serious that is. You guys, this narcissism is a huge problem. You think it's a joke. You think it's a joke. And again, shout out again to my brother Disruptive Minds for this mega donation. I really appreciate you, brother. Listen, we're about to drop gems, and when I get done with this, I'm gonna be bringing people up. If you have an issue with what I said, come and challenge me. The rules on my channel is you got to be cammed up. By now, Chanel should know this channel stream, and she's more than welcome to come up and we can have a conversation. Listen, there's no disrespect over here. Bring your facts. Bring your facts, right? Bring your facts. That's what we do over here. We challenge the facts. Shout out to For Me Terrace. She said, people are so quick to dismiss people because their opinions or views instead of expanding their perspective. Amen. Absolutely. 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 Shout out to Jason Shannon. He's back here holding it down. I appreciate you, brother. I see you back there holding it down. All right, let's get back into this. This is important.
Experience for me. It's a foundation for me.
Trauma bonding. You guys, our community needs therapy, right? From slavery, we need therapy because this is starting to look like PTSD, right? Shout out to Marcus. Shout out to Marcus Wayne. Said, Nathan, we had $1 billion of accumulated 1921, only 56 years after slavery, 100 years later. What happened to our wealth? It was stolen. It was taken. It was absolutely taken. You guys, Black people have been taken advantage of. We're still being taken advantage of in this country. You guys, wake up. No one said that's not true. I'm saying, what are we going to do about it? Right? Again, you give us a history lesson. Give us a lesson for the future. What do we do? How do you get it done? How do we get it done? Listen, we spent as a community $1.6 trillion in this country last year during a pandemic. $1.6 trillion. So don't tell me about money. We have it. We have it. The government spent $700 billion last year. We spent $1.6 trillion. You want to ask me where the money went? You guys, we got some work to do, right? Our financial priorities are backwards. You had Jim Jones in the Gucci store about to spend 26 bands and was complaining about not getting enough attention so he can spend $26,000 on Gucci products. You guys, that's a family's name, Gucci, right? Again, we are investing in things that have nothing to do with wealth building. How do you build wealth? You create Black families, right? That's how you wealth build. Again, our communities are broken. Our single mother rate is through the roof. The men are out here running around in circles, throwing their seed around randomly, right? The men are abandoning their homes. The men are getting kicked out of their homes. The women are using the courts against men. The courts are against men and oppressing men. They can't see their children. You guys, listen, there's a whole lot of problems. We know that single parent households account for, right? There's a correlation with poverty. There's a correlation with poverty with that. There's also a correlation with single parent homes and delinquency, deviant behavior in our kids. Right? Again, these are real issues. Give me the solution to those issues. Right? Yet we have a woman here who is a feminine coach with a cosmetology license, talking to someone who has their undergrad in criminology, their minor in criminal justice, right? Who has their master's in public administration, who's done this job for 13 years. You guys, I've worked with the feds, I've worked with the states, I've worked with the colleges. And this woman here, right? This is the problem, you guys. Let's compare it. Let's compare credentials. We need to stop allowing people who don't have the qualifications to speak on issues to speak on issues. And we take it for the gospel. We need to start vetting these people that are coming into these spaces and just saying what they want to say as if it's the truth. Because see, we as a people take it and we paint it on our bodies and we come out here and walk around like we heard something valid. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm saying she's not accurate.